welcome back. So at least we have one course here showing, and let's now add the rest of them here. So this will be much easier to do. So what to do. Back to our what's this, home view here. Okay, so we dealt with the first item here. So now we can add a loop through the second section here. And like I mentioned, this is where one entry starts. So we really just need one entry. We don't need the rest. So what we'll do is just run a loop around this. So we're just going to say for each, and the variable will be rows. And we don't really need the key because it's just numbers. We need the value. We'll change that to row. And then, because we want to maintain our PHP code, we'll close it there and remove that. I'll copy this end if, but then now remember we just need one of these, so we just put the loop right here. Okay, and if, but this should not be end if, it's end for each, like this. So that helps us to loop. So let's see what's happening here. If I refresh, the first one should loop a couple of times. So, oh, I see, I understand why there are two sections now. Okay, makes sense. It's going this way. I thought it was going this way, like this, but it goes like this, and then it comes down like this. Interesting. Okay, so this has gone all the way down and all the way here. Interesting. Okay, no problem, we can deal with that. What we can do now is put all the details in here. So copy this, and we have a category here. I think that sport is category. Okay, that's fine. And we have an image over here. So let's start with that, shall we? I will paste row image like this, close that up, and open the tag, put get image as always, like that. Alrighty then. And then I want this style. But before I do that, let's just see what happens. Okay, no images here whatsoever. So what's going on? It's because it's supposed to be course underscore image. All right, refresh, and there we go. So we have this one, we have this one, we have that, and the one with no image. Goody. Okay, great. Now the first thing we need to do is eliminate. Okay, we can eliminate this one a bit later, but let's just put the category there. So when getting the category, if we look at course model, get price, get category, we are saving this in category row, so that's good. Let me go to categories table. So it's category, that's what it's named. Okay, now it's possible that the category may not be available, so we have to keep that in mind. So I'm just going to copy this and paste it here. So instead of this, we will do, I don't know, categories names might be weird as well. So escape row category underscore row, and then point again, and this time it's category, like that, because that's the column name we're looking for. Now it's very possible that this may not be available. So if it isn't, then let's put two double question marks and put an empty string that way, or you can just say unknown like this. That way in case it doesn't exist, we can do that. So here there's IT and software, that's good. Photography and video, that's great. At least things are working as intended. Now imagine if it doesn't exist. Let me just put some text here to show that it doesn't, because I know that won't be found. So if I refresh, instead of having an error, we'll get unknown like that, which is much better. Okay, great. So at least we have our category there going on. What do we need? The date, yes. So let's get date. That should be a function as well. Get date right there. So back to the home page, and the date will always be there, so no need to put our question marks. So I'm just going to paste this here, get date like this, and then row date like that. Okay, goody. Let me refresh, let's see. Okay, things are looking up. Very cool. Alrighty then. So things are good so far. Now we need to eliminate the rest of these guys. So back here, we already have this one, so we don't need the rest. And these end here. So I'm going to grab this and delete. Don't delete the div that matches with this one. Oh wait, I went too far, I guess. But let me see how this looks. Okay, so it moves everything over like this. I see. So let me undo that for a second. I went too far. I was supposed to end here. That's where that one ends. So there's only two more here. So I'll remove this. And then there's a second column here, which is exactly like this one. So I'm just going to, let me see if any differences at all in the code. Doesn't look like there are any differences. MX1, bullet, date, they look pretty much identical. So I think we can happily copy this onto here. So I won't delete anything yet. I'll just put it inside this one like so and see what happens. So refresh. Okay, so it works just fine as it was intended. This one is longer, of course. Okay, cool. So now what I would do is delete the rest of these guys as well. So delete. Now refresh. And there we go. Okay, so we have a repeat over here. So definitely we need a limit here. 1, 2, 3, 4, this is 8. So we need a limit of 6 because there were 6 items here. So if I go to, where is this course model? No, home page. We have a where clause here, a where function. Now if we go to models, the model.php, that's where the where function is. So we have data, we have order by, but we can add a little more than that. We can add a limit and an offset as well. So we want to use some of those just now, but I can add a limit like this and say limit is equal to 10 as a default, and then we'll add an offset and set that as well to a default value of 0. Okay, so this will help us with pagination. For now we have a limit here, so we can add it. As long as we add the order, we can also add a limit and then use it. Now right now it's just there, we're not using it. So right at the end, before, let's see, order by order, and then we can just add limit and put whatever value that limit has. Currently it has 10, so we'll limit to 10. But we can add our own number because these are optional values now. If I go to home, there's a where clause. Okay, so this one is the data. This whole thing represents the data. Then if we put a comma, we can add descending the order, and then, so to get to the limit, I'll have to add this. So what I'll do is just do this, comma, and put descending, and then comma, put a limit of 7. All right, so 7 because we want 6 on this side and 1 here. So if I refresh, we won't see a difference here because we have less items than 7. But what I want to do is, in the home view here, I want to create a new array instead of using rows here. So first of all, the reason is because I want to remove the first item here. Now I can easily do that by let's come here, right in the middle here. Let's put some PHP tags. Okay, go down here like this. So the only reason we're doing this is because this view is quite complex compared to normal views where you just do a loop and that's it and forget. Ideally, that's what you want. But looking at this template, it's complex here, so we have to make accommodations. So it's not a good idea to have a lot of code in your view. What we need really is just loops and if statements. That should be it. So when we start making accommodations like this, not so good. We should probably put this inside our controller. So that's probably what I'll do. So let me remove this. So instead, what I'll do is I'll just make, instead of having rows 0 like this, I will make sure that rows exists. That's number 1. And then I'll just have instead of rows 0, I'll create one that has rows, another variable. So I'll select every part that I've used rows 0 like this and change that to first row like this. I'll just name it first row like that so it's easier to remember. And then this one is rows I'll just name it rows 1 and this one rows 2 like that. Okay, cool. Very nice. Now I can go to my home page, this home controller, and create those variables. So already I have these rows that I have returned here, but let's create a few more. So I'm going to do this, and this one will be first row like this. This one will be equal to the rows first item 0 like that. Okay, great. I know this will always exist for as long as there are results here. So we need indeed to check if results exist. So we'll say if rows like that, then do this like so. Okay. But if it does not exist or it's not real, we still need this variable, otherwise we'll have a problem on the other side. Actually, no, we don't need this variable. Let's leave it like that so that we don't show anything if it's not there. So if data rows, let's create the first one and then let's create a few more. We want to create rows 1 and then rows 2. Okay, so here I want to splice the array. So I'm just going to say array. So it exists, array splice. So we need an input. So array splice, what it does is it returns a piece of the array. So the current array is this one, that's the input. So we need to know where to start from. The offset is 0, we want the first item, but where do we end? How many items should I get from there? So I need to get half the items from first row. So what I'll do is I'll need to know how many rows I got. So total rows is equal to let's use count like this to get how many are inside rows, not first row. How many are inside rows? So that's the total rows. Great. And then half is obviously equal to total rows divided by 2. Now it's possible that we'll get a decimal number here, so what I want is just to round this off. So just round that off. That way we get a whole number. That's good. So half rows is how far we should go here, so when we are splicing. So I'll put that there. This one is not needed. So we spliced that array, and then let's splice the other one as well. So copy and splice again. This time we are starting at half rows. Maybe it will be half rows plus 1. I don't know. And then let's do up to total rows. Like that. So let's see if that actually works. And let's refresh. Okay, it does work. There are only 1, 2. Wait, there should be 4 items. So what happened here? Not good at all. So maybe array splice didn't work so well. Let me see. Here I can do show. Oops. Let me show this one. Oh, let's see. Half rows. How much did we get from there? Let me put die so I can just see this alone. So there are 2. That's the middle. So there are 4. So there's 2 there, which is cool. And 4. Yep, it's correct. So this one should start. Oh, so we are starting at 0. Ah, right. And then 2, moving 2. So that's 0 and 1. And then here we are starting at 2. So 0, 1, 0 and 1. And then here we are starting at number 2. Up to total rows, which is 4, which does not exist, I guess. Oh. This doesn't matter. Actually, let me just leave that out. If I leave that out, it will get everything up to the end of the whole thing. So let me just see what the end of the array. Let me just see what we have here. So paste, back, refresh. So we have an empty array here for some reason. Okay, let me try and -1 here, and let's see what happens. Okay, so at least I get 1 item. Why is it ID 1? Oh yeah. That's correct actually. Okay, so let me duplicate this. I want to see if I got everything. So I'll show the first item and then the second row. Let's see what the offset is doing here. So I got ID 4, that's nice, and ID 3, that's cool. But then I have ID 1. But where is ID 2 though? Wait a minute, does splice remove? Oh yeah, you know, I forgot that splice actually deletes the array. Okay, all right, so what I forgot is when I splice, whatever I remove that I put here is removed from the original array. So which means the remainder, whatever remains inside rows, is actually the whole array I should add to this. So the only problem is the number starts at, which doesn't matter because we're using a for each loop anyway. So it should work now. Let me refresh. Yes, there we go. So we have that. Okay, cool. All right, the only problem is we are repeating this one over here. So to avoid this, we can unset the first item. So once we add the first item there, let's unset it. So I'm just going to come back here and say unset this one. Now, since we've unset it, we've removed the value of 0. the first item. So we need a cleaner array. Let me show you this. If I copy this and just say show like that, and then die, you will notice that the array no longer, it starts at 3. Oh, okay, so the first item is the last time. Okay, so things are good because the order is in descending order. Okay, so that's fine. Actually, it will work just fine. I thought it would delete the 0, 1, and then we would have array starting at 1, which could be a problem, but it isn't. Actually, everything is fine. So there we go. We've removed this one here, that one there. Only that now we need to check for, let's see, rows 1, data rows. Wait a minute. Yeah, this could be a problem if we don't have enough here. So we need to check for first row. That's what we need to check for in the view instead. So I'm just going to copy this, come to the home view. Instead of checking if this one is empty, we'll check if first row is empty, like that. Okay, so if it's not empty, then we go ahead and do this, and then we loop through these guys. Now these guys may not exist, so I will duplicate this, duplicate that, push everything over, and then put an if statement out here. So again, if not empty, like this, right? And let's remove everything else. Alrighty then, so I'll just copy that. Oh, I need to do an end if here, and I'll copy this, duplicate, move things over, replace this one with that one and put a 2 there, and change this one to end if. Cool. This way we are error proof. Now I can show you that we are error proof if I go to the home controller, and when reading, instead of limiting to 7, I can limit to 1 item. So we just read 1 item from there, refresh, and as you can see, we just have 1 item now, but things are still good over here. Okay, good. What if we read 0 items? Yep, nothing. The whole section does not show. That's very good. I like this thing here on top, so we will have to move it to the other side. So undo, let's undo to 7, and that's it. All right, so now at least we can read some courses from here. So let me add one more course so that we see that it will load here. So I'll go back to my courses and let's add a new one. So we have JavaScript, Node.js. What course can we do? Let's just say personal fitness, right? And this one is fitness. Let's see. Do I have lifestyle, health and fitness? Great. Save that. Okay, good. Let's add an image to this. I have completely no images that will suit this, but hey, let's just add one. Let's save that. Level, maybe intermediate, so that we can see something different at least. Let's copy the description from Lorem Ipsum, a personal fitness training session. All right, so we've saved everything. Save everything saved correctly. Let's go back. There we go. Now let's get back to this and let's refresh. And as you can see now, we have a new course there, and these guys are down here. All right, so let's continue in the next video. Let's deal with this, and then we can go back to dealing with the courses, because this is the meat of the matter. We need to deal with the video here. All right, I'll see you in the next video.